Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I wanted to do a commentary on an interesting topic that I had in mind. And there is one big question for this topic. Is skill-based matchmaking really needed? That is the topic of today's video. If you end up enjoying it, make sure you end up leaving a like, comment, subscribe. I really want to hear your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. But let's begin. So the number one big question at the end of the day truly is skill-based matchmaking really needed? And the reason why I asked this of you guys is because some people might actually say yes, that is needed, and that's what makes this topic so interesting, is because I would feel like that a lot of people, because this is my opinion, would probably all agree that skill-based matchmaking is bad for games, but it is good in some ways. It's just that it's a little bit overkill. Now, the one thing I want to stress is that I don't mind skill-based matchmaking if it's like in like a ranked playlist, for example. I just don't want it in every game of every second. You know what I mean? Like, you see where I'm getting at here? It's just like I would like to take a break because it never used to be that way. Like, when I play a video game, I want to get on to have fun, not get stressed out. And sometimes games do that to you lately. Like, for example, let's take something like Rainbow Six Siege or Overwatch. They have two competitive modes, but the default modes are still competitive to a certain degree. Sure, they're more competitive in the other sweaty playlists, but like, it would be nice to have like only be based off a connection. For example, like let's say that you're playing a game, right, and you just got off of work and you're super exhausted and super tired and you just want to play the game and then, go to sleep. So you hop on at like, let's say, 6 o'clock, and you want to play for like, let's say a couple hours, like 6 to 8. You want to just play just for like 2 hours, just chill, and then you maybe want to like turn into the bed at like 10. So you're playing the game, and like let's say you decide to load up something like, let's say, Fortnite or Apex Legends, because those are two big ones because they're free and a lot of people play them. Now both of these games, as of right now, have skill-based matchmaking when they didn't used to. So before, when you would have hopped on, you probably would have had a chance to get a random amount of teammates, any random amount of enemies, and like let's say that whether you're good or not, you end up having, let's say one bad teammate but one random good teammate, and then let's say same thing with the enemy team. And then sometimes the variable changes, like let's say the next game after that, it's super sweaty enemies, super dumb teammates, then vice versa. Like, you personally probably wouldn't care just because it's just like, oh, that's just dumb luck, that's just the bad luck of the draw. But with the game now is that you're always going to be playing against players of your skill level, which in turn means that you're going to be playing against clones of you. They are meant to play exactly like you. And to play against another me, personally, for the amount of ways I like play the game and how I just play and how I can end up coming across to somebody, I would be annoying as ever living shit to play against. Like, I mean, I understand that like skill-based matchmaking is to a certain degree needed. I understand that completely. Nobody wants to buy a game and immediately get demolished and get pissed off. I completely get that. But, and this is a huge but, this doesn't happen to apply to random game modes like such as like your LTMs, for example. Like, why the hell in an LTM where you're trying to, like, let's say shoot the flying spaghetti monster with a stick up your ass, why does that have to have skill-based matchmaking? That's meant to be fun, right? It's just meant to be a random goofy mode. I think that that's stupid. Why is there a sweaty playlist and then there's also another LTM that's supposed to be fun and goofy but it's also equally sweaty? It's supposed to be more fun, right? That's what I find stupid. And for me personally, that annoys me. But some people really like skill-based matchmaking because they'll never see the light of day of where this actually ends up affecting them when they get good. Think about it this way. There's a lot of people that are super filthy casuals and they don't have skill-based matchmaking affect them because their lobbies are always filled with people that are just equally as bad as them. I'm not trying to crap on bad players, but keep in mind is that there's a different set of types of players. Like, for example, you can have anyone from Optic Scumpy to somebody that literally has no body parts and is handicapped, and they're struggling because they literally have no hands. Now, I understand there needs to be skill-based matchmaking for them. Keep in mind, I completely understand that. But the thing is, though, is that it shouldn't have to be so severe to the point where nobody can have fun. Think about it this way. For people that are handicapped or for people that are new to the game, I completely get skill-based matchmaking. In fact, actually, there was a thing about how the Korean Savage or whatever was reverse boosting supposedly to get into handicapped lobbies and got a nuke on a girl with, like, I think no hand or missing a body part. And I think that that's ridiculous. Like, to ruin her experience so that way you can get nukes, that's just ridiculous. I don't know if he genuinely meant to. I didn't look too much into it, so I don't want to say for sure either way. But that's still, I feel bad for the girl just because, like, if it was intentional, that would be just really cruel, honestly. If it was on an accident, I get it, and if it was a random pool, I get it. But if you're deliberately trying to play against people that you know are handicapped because you feel like you're gonna have an advantage, that's just scummy. So, skill-based matchmaking, the way I look at it, is that it is needed, but only with a few exceptions. Skill-based matchmaking should be like this. If you are a new player, or if you are genuinely handicapped, you should have a freebie. You should be able to play in lobbies with other people that are also handicapped, and also other people that are not really that good at the game, so that way people can have fun. I get that. Like, you don't want to play against Optic Scumpy if you have no body parts, or if you happen to be just really bad at the game and you're learning. It's frustrating. I completely get that. But think about it the other way around as well. Think about it, if you were a really good player, would you honest to God want to play against Scumpy either? Sure, some people like the adrenaline rush and the competition, but for me, personally, I'm not wanting to go into that field. I don't want to be a professional gamer. I don't mind going competitive sometimes. I love being competitive. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a competitive spirit. That's why I am a tryhard. But the thing is, though, is that there's a huge, huge difference between doing it all the time and doing it casually. You can be a casual sweat. Like, for example, for sometimes, you know, as an example, we'll go into the league play or the sweaty competitive playlist, whatever it is on that given game. So sometimes I'll play Overwatch competitive or Rainbow competitive, or I'll play, like, a Call of Duty league play or something like that, but I'll do it for fun. And sometimes there's a reward, like, for example, in, like, Overwatch, it's, like, the gold guns. And then Call of Duty, it's just for funs and shits and gigs. But the thing is, that's sometimes. I don't want to do that all the time. Think about it this way. Let's put it in a sports logic. Imagine that you were playing to want to join the NFL. Like, let's say that you're playing high school football, then college football, then you go up to the NFL. But imagine, like, from the very beginning, you have no knowledge of football whatsoever, and they put you in a Super Bowl match. Do you think that would be fun? No. But you're probably like, okay, if it's just once in a while, or if it's every now and then, sure. Nope, it is every single fucking game. It is every single game until you die. Does that sound so fun that you want to keep coming back to the game? No. Does that sound like very enthusiastic, make you want to get better at the game? No. Does that sound like it's completely broken? Fuck yeah! It sounds annoying as shit! Like, I don't want to play against people like that are super sweaty all the goddamn time. Like, you see what I mean? Like, balance is key. It is the main key. It's what makes a life good for somebody. Like, that can be the case with, like, let's say, in real life scenarios too. Like, if you want to, like, let's say, drink some alcohol, you can drink a little bit of alcohol. If you want to, you know, like, let's say, spend some money on some things you enjoy, like, let's say, a new video game or going out with friends, who freaking cares? If you saved your money and you're responsible, who gives a shit? But, like, if you did that every time, that's when it gets unorthodox and it gets annoying and frustrating to people around you, and it just becomes a problem. You see what I'm getting at here? Like, I'm not trying to make this a rant, this is really just me trying to put emphasis on it, but the thing about this way is that skill-based matchmaking only helps so much. If you have the game, like, let's say, any game for that matter, be super uberly strict on who you play against and who you play with, that's not fun. That is not fun. And almost like, can I give an example real quick? Like, this is maybe a personal experience for me, but I feel like everyone, especially in the Call of Duty community, can agree on this. If skill-based matchmaking is supposed to make it so that way everyone in the lobby is of equal value, keep in mind is that your enemies, they're supposed to have a challenge too. For example, if I'm playing in a Call of Duty lobby and my enemies are sweaty because they're basically clones of me, that should also be my teammates. Like, my teammates, including myself, are supposed to be supposed clones of the enemy team, right? For skill-based matchmaking to work. Like, that's the case, right? So why is that every single time I play a game that my teammates are complete and utter trash and my enemies are the next Optic Scumpy? I don't get that. Like, I feel like skill-based matchmaking only applies to my enemies. Maybe that's just for the account of the times that I lose and I don't count the wins. But I keep track of my wins and my losses. And for skill-based matchmaking, I either on a regular basis, because keep in mind I play by myself, I record YouTube videos, so I'm not concentrating as hard strictly on the gameplay, and I'm also talking out loud a lot of the time with either my friends, or I'm just, you know, talking out loud to myself just because that's just my personality. I'm usually recording, I usually just say my train of thought out loud. I'm just very casual about it. It's very rare that you will see me be completely dead silent with a 6-man party only giving callouts. That is very, very rare. And the thing is, though, is that I play against those enemies on a regular basis. And since I'm by myself, that means I'm obviously not a 6-man party, neither is my teammates, so they're also not a 6-man party. Like, for example, in Overwatch, there will be times where a 6-stack will be playing against 3 stacks of 2, because it eventually adds up to 6. That's not fair. That's like saying that you're playing against the New England Patriots in football, and that I don't know how many exact members are in a single football team, but like, let's just give a hypothetical example. Like, let's say it's 20. That's like saying that all 20 of the New England Patriots are all communicating, going back and forth, trying their dicks off, and then, like, let's say it's 2 from every single other team in the whole entire NFL playing against the New England Patriots. But they all don't know each other, they've never made contact with before, some of them are not talking, some of them are really mixtures of bad and good, and you think they're gonna win? No, they're not. Like, that's the problem with skill-based matchmaking, is that it's a short-term solution. If you're playing and you're genuinely in need of it, I understand. But if you're a tryhard, or even a somewhat just casual player and you have a decent amount of skill, you're going to be playing against identical players to yourself every single game. And so if you're average, or if you're really good, every single one of your enemies is going to be average or good. And to have the cherry on top, it feels like my teammates can never compete. I like, genuinely, if they're in my bracket, shouldn't they be sweaty as hell? Because I'm sweaty as hell, I know I'm sweaty as hell. And this would, in turn, make the games more fun and enjoyable if my teammates actually tried. But they don't. And also, as well, is that, like, if every game is neck and neck, there's nothing necessarily that fun to play against. Like, sure, it's fun to watch, it's probably great for competitive, but when you're playing in that, it's frustrating as hell. Whatever happened to, like, a practice round? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the way I look at with skill-based matchmaking is that it is needed, but only for the very beginning, for people that genuinely need it because they're handicapped, and it should only be in certain modes. It always needs to come down to connection. Video games always need to be connection, always. Even if it's, you know, a little bit of skill, fine. But, like, I shouldn't be playing against somebody in China because he's equally as sweaty as me. I should be playing against somebody in the United States of America because they just live in the United States of America. I'm not being racist, it's just that I genuinely don't want to be having a red bar and 0 ping because Mr. Guy in China over here is, a professional, like, let's say, Overwatch or Rainbow Six Siege player. It's just not fair, not fun, it's just ridiculous. So, this is my solutions. Have the skill-based matchmaking only be in the easy-ish / like beginner level, or for people that genuinely need it. Have it only be in the competitive modes. Don't put it in TDM, don't put it in the casual modes, and if you really have to have a basic amount of skill-based matchmaking, have a mode where, like, let's say there is no skill-based matchmaking, like, there's a league play, have the opposite of league play, where there's just a no skill-based matchmaking mode, or have it where it is less thick skill-based matchmaking in a given mode. That would be more fun and that would be more enjoyable. And then just as, like, one last solution, is that, like, at the end of the day, since you're going to have people that are going to reverse boost, you're going to have the people that are always going to make Smurf accounts, I understand you can't, work a way around that. But, like, it would be genuinely nice to have some form of... I don't know exactly what I'm asking for here, but, like, it would be nice if eventually we could have something where we choose who we're playing against, if that makes any sense. Like, for example, it would be nice to have a party filtering system, so saying, like, I'm playing by myself. Please only put me with people that are by themselves. And sure, like, it can be like, okay, well, now your lobby pool is going to be shorter, so it's going to take longer to find a match. Fine. I would rather play in several bad lobbies, only if I want to, than all the time, any day. And I would also rather play against, like, Timmy No Thumbs to wait for 20 minutes than I would play against Octoscumpy every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's basically, like, my opinion on skill-based matchmaking. What do you think at the end of the day, guys? Is it needed? And if so, what would be your solution? But I hope you ended up enjoying. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.